Hi guys, welcome to another Divi theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, in our last video, we showed you how to build this little full page graphical menu here using the great new loop system. We had a great question. Somebody said, well, I want to make it bigger. I actually want to add posts as well as some of my pages here. Incredibly easy to do with the new loop system. So we're going to turn this thing into something that looks like this. Still got my pages here. And I've got some posts down below. Okay, if we go back here, I've got this page open in my builder right here. Now, rather than build this from scratch again, I'm just going to take it from where we left it in the last video and we'll modify it. For anybody that didn't see that last video, I'll put a link down below. But just to let you know exactly what's going on here, let's go to the wireframe view. Now I've got my little logo at the top in a row at the top there. And I've got another row with a single column in it. Inside there, we've got the fantastic new group module, which allows us to group modules and rows together within. I've got an image module pulling in the featured image of each page, a heading pulling in the page or post title. Text is going to pull in an excerpt from the post or page, and a button obviously wants to navigate to the specific page or post using the looper there. So let's go back here. First thing I want to do is I want to make this bigger. I'm going to have all my pages on the top row on desktop. Then underneath, I'm going to add 6 posts. Now to fit it all in, I can make my little columns smaller here. But what I'm going to do is make my row full width by going into the row itself, green tab, design, sizing. To make it full width, just type 100 in there. It's got percentage selected on the end, that's great. And max width. Type 100 in there. We need to select percentage on this one, else it puts pixels in, which is not going to work. Fantastic. Now that's got that working. Now remember, we've only got one column here that we're looping, and we've got it set as 1/3 on desktop here, so it's displaying 3. I'm going to change that to 6 by going into our column. We're already in the row. The column's going to be in the content here. There it is. We go over now to design and sizing. Instead of 1/3, like I say, I'm going to make them 1/6. Should shoot 6 of them on a line there. Fantastic. So I've got all my pages up here. Perfect. And we'll adjust for tablet and mobile in a moment when we add our posts. Now there's a couple of ways of doing this. Like I say, we've got this column looped. We're in the column right now. If you go to content, loops always under column. And in the loop here, we selected post type, we added pages. Now you can add posts by just clicking on here and adding posts as well as pages, or whatever it is you want to add. But I want to keep my pages separate from my posts. So I'm actually going to just clone this, believe it or not. I'm going to take the whole row. I'm going to hit the 2 little squares to clone it or duplicate it. I've got exactly the same thing underneath. Now rather than adding more to this one, I'm just going to go into the second one here. Make sure we're in the second row. We need to go into the column under content right there. Then when it's looped, I'm going to get rid of pages. I'm going to put in posts. Now I've got it set to just display 6. It's actually displaying pretty much what I want to display there, but I want to select the individual ones that I actually want to display rather than it choosing. So I'm going to hit select posts here. Only includes specific posts. We'll throw in that one. Just left click again to add another one. Of course, we're going to go for 6 on this. Fantastic. Now, once we put them in there, that's pretty much all we need to do. Now, you may find that you've got a gap between your top and bottom rows there. It's because in my section here, I've got my gap set to 2 pixels there. So if we go into the section, in design and layout, it's going to be set to flex. I've got mine set to 2 pixels. By default, let's just reset those to how they should be. You may have a gap in yours like that. If you want to tighten them up like I did there, like I say, in your section, design, layout, I want 2 pixels, purely because that's what we use between these right here. And the vertical gap, let's make them both 2 pixels. And they're nice and tight, just like that. Fantastic. Now, the great thing about doing this, we can swap the way around that these are because we've got individual rows. So if we go into this row, for instance, we can go into design, layout, flip it around the other way if we want to. I mean, you can stack it. That's not going to look real good. So if you quickly want to flip them around the other way, you can do that. And of course, with the loop, you can select them by name. Looped in the column, remember. I've got mine ordered by ID. You can have no order. Title, post name, last modified, etc. ID works perfectly for me. Now, of course, we just need to check that our image right here, click on any of these images, make sure that the link for the image is going to the loop link. It is perfect, which means it'll link to the appropriate post. And the same for the button down here. We'll just go into any one of them. It doesn't matter. Link, loop link, perfect. So this should actually work. Let's just check it on tablet and mobile first. We've got 6 columns on desktop here. I've got 3 on tablet. That works perfectly for me. Now, if I remember correctly, we were left with 4 in our last one. I've modified this slightly. So let's put it back how the original was. That's in the row and the column, purely because if you're following along from the last video, you may have 4 columns. Design, sizing, that was a quarter. So you'd have this. You'd have similar below. And all I did was change the quarter to 1/3, so it fits perfectly on tablet. Obviously, adjust yours to taste. And we got it back just like that. And on mobile, didn't change this at all. We got 2 columns. And then we got our background image in there as well. Great, so we should be good to go. Let's test this out. I'm going to go back to desktop mode. We'll save our changes. Let's preview. And here we have it. Working fine on desktop. Make sure it's going to take us where we want to go. I'm going to middle mouse so that it opens in a new tab. Perfect. And let's try a post perhaps, the vortex. Open it in the same tab maybe. Perfect. And let's make sure it's going to work on tablet and mobile. I'm using Google Chrome. I'm going to hit my F12 key. And here we have it on an iPad. It's going to work perfectly. Let's have a look on the phone. Should have 2 columns. Perfect. And we've just got the title, the button, and the background image is now the featured image of the page or post. Great, so that's working perfectly. I hope that's answered that question. A very easy way to add projects as well as pages to your full page menu here. I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. Don't forget, we're going to be working more and more with Divi 5 and less with Divi 4 as it gets closer and closer to the 5 release date. If you're still working with 4 and it's a fantastic platform, I've got plenty of sites working on 4 perfectly still. And you have any questions about that, just pop them down below. Be happy to answer them or make a little demo video just like this one, if I can. So if you've enjoyed this today, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, this has been Jamie with System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.